Defendant Durk Banks' motion for dismiss to vagueness or, in the alternative, for a bill of particulars. Don't worry, this is about to be a great read. Defendant Durk Banks, through his attorneys Drew Findling, Marissa Goldberg, Jonathan Brayman, and Christy O'Connor, hereby files this motion to dismiss the second superseding indictment, the indictment, or, in the alternative, for a bill of given. Not a lot, but a couple of comments were asking, what's going on with Durk? What's the news on Lil Durk? Well, we got some news on Lil Durk today. Let us play that song real quick.
Free Lil Durk, free Lil Smirk, all white, cool.
Y'all check out that UI Scooty Deluxe album. It's actually better than the original. But this ain't no Young Thug free promo. No, free promo would be win one of these by hitting that like button right now and staying to the very end to figure out how you can take home that. But Lil Durk going for the dismissal. Let's get into it. So as you can see right here, United States versus Durk Banks. Defendant Durk Banks motion to dismiss for vagueness or an alternative for a bill of particulars, meaning they want that evidence. Defendant Durk Banks, through his attorneys Drew Findling, Marissa Goldberg, Jonathan and Brayman, Christy O'Connor, hereby files this motion to dismiss the second superseding indictment, the indictment, or in the alternative, for a bill of particulars. Mr. Banks makes this motion under Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure 7C1 and F under the 5th and 6th Amendments to the Constitution. This motion is based on the attached memorandum, the files and records in this case, and any other such evidence or argument that the court may permit, dated October 6, 2025. Then they're going to go into a factual background, the legal standard, the argument, and then the conclusion. We're going to skip a whole bunch of this stuff. So the indictment is impermissibly vague. It leaves the defense to guess as to the government's theory of guilt, and it leaves the government free to change that theory as its cooperator stories morph over time to meet the demands of a conviction. Because the indictment omits the factual particulars necessary to give Mr. Banks notice of the charges against him and to permit him to prepare his defense at trial, it fails to satisfy Fed R. Crim P. 7C1 and the 5th and 6th Amendments. Dismissal is warranted. As an alternative to dismissal, y'all know what that is, right? Hey, if I can't sell you these tickets for $20, would you mind buying this chocolate bar for $2? We've been through this before, so we know how this stuff goes, right? As an alternative to dismissal, this motion seeks a bill of particulars under Fed R. Crim P. 7F, along with the 5th and 6th Amendments. Counts 1 and 2 allege that Mr. Banks conspired to and participate in murder for hire. In other words, murder as a consideration for the receipt of and consideration for the promise and agreement to pay something of pecuniary value, or what the government calls a bounty, defining anything of pecuniary value to include anything of value in the form of money, a negotiable instrument, a commercial interest, or anything else, the primary significance of which is economic advantage. I think I should have said an economic advantage, but whatever. The problem with the counts 1 and 2 is that while they do allege in general terms that Mr. Banks offered a bounty for TB's murder, they do not provide the specifics necessary for him to adequately prepare his defense to prevent to prevent a surprise at trial, to protect against double jeopardy, or to prevent the government from shifting its legal theory or straying from its grand jury presentation. The indictment only alleges that Mr. Banks used specified coded language that oxymoronically made clear that TB's killer would be rewarded with money or lucrative music opportunities with OTF. But according to the government, what was the coded language he used upon which the grand jury based its charging decision? When, where, and how was the coded language bounty alleged conveyed? What were the monetary rewards and music opportunities that were supposedly promised or delivered as consideration for the murder? Without more, there's a real danger of a constructive amendment and or fatal variance at trial in violation of the Constitution. A similar deficiency plagues the direction of language that affects every count in the indictment. While the indictment alleges that the co-conspirators carried out various attacks at the direction of Mr. Banks, flying to Los Angeles, tracking, stalking, and attempting to kill TB by gunfire and procuring the firearms and equipment used to do so, it fails to give any specifics: when, where, how. And to whom did Mr. Banks give these alleged directions? To ensure the basic fairness of this trial, the defense is entitled to know, given the vagueness of the indictment's bounty and at the direction of allegations, if the indictment is permitted to stand, a bill of particulars is warranted. Mr. Banks requests a bill of particulars that reflects the theory upon which the grand jury rested its charging decision, and that gives Mr. Banks fair notice of the allegations against him. Specifically, we request the following information: the language that Mr. Banks allegedly used to convey his offer of a pecuniary bounty in exchange for the murder of TB, the nature of the item of pecuniary value, the monetary reward or music opportunity that Mr. Banks is alleged to have offered and / or delivered in exchange for the murder, the date / time, audience, and circumstances of the alleged bounty offer. The language used, date / time, audience, and circumstances related to the at the direction of allegations in this indictment. The request is made under Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure 7F and the 5th and 6th Amendments. Factual background, the indictment. The indictment contains allegations that in order to induce TB's murder, Mr. Banks used coded language to offer a pecuniary value in the form of a monetary reward or music opportunities with OTF. It also avers that co-conspirators took the following actions at the direction of Mr. Banks flying in Los Angeles, tracking, stalking, and attempting to kill TB by gunfire and procuring the cars, ski masks, and firearms to do so. The bounty language. The indictment introductory allegations contain the following language with respect to alleged bounty. After the murder of DB, defendant Banks made clear in coded language that he would pay a bounty of monetary reward and / or make payment to anyone who took part in killing TB for his role in DB's murder. They talking about King Von. So it goes on to say all of this crap again. We already know how it goes. Yeah, bruh. Hey, y'all went ahead and killed King Von, and basically I said this and said that, right? And then it says, what the indictment fails to tell us are the very things the defense is entitled to know. The operative facts underlying the government's theories of Mr. Banks' guilt. There is no allegation here that Mr. Banks physically participated in the stalking and shooting at issue. The crux, the entirety, even of the government's case then, is first, that he somehow offered and or paid someone some sort of unspecified bounty in exchange for the murder. The second, that he directed in some unspecified way the stalking, the firearm possession, the murder, and perhaps also the murder's bounty's payment. Those are the only two links. The bounty in Mr. Banks' direction of others alleged to connect him to the charged crimes. Indeed, if the government cannot prove up to these links beyond a reasonable doubt, its case against Mr. Banks fails. As to the offer, it is an element of the murder for hire charge in counts 1 and 2. Mr. Banks gave or promised something of pecuniary value in exchange for seeking the murder. It's the United States versus Chong, a criminal, the intent to pay someone to commit murder, a critical element for murder for hire. And they keep on going on with that stuff. It says the indictment lacks of specificity as to alleged bounty and directions in furtherance of the murder. It goes on to say the indictment should be dismissed as vague, basically because the bounty and the direction points presents all dangers of a vague indictment, does not permit Mr. Banks to prepare an adequate defense. So it goes on, and then it goes on. And basically, when we get to the end, at the very least, the court should order a bill of particulars, basically stating that, hey, let us know what the hell is going on. But I'm going to tell y'all what's really, really going on. Hit that like button like you like something. Let's get it started.
Hey, yo, you. Can you subscribe and turn on that bell too? Because when you do, you're helping unbiased, independent news.
Yeah. So the freaking DA basically got the judge to approve of a couple of things. What are those couple of things? Well, he said, she said, they said together to the judge, hey, we don't want him taking this evidence / discovery back to his cell. We don't want him to be able to talk about it. We don't even want him to be able to take anything, even if he loses, until the appeal is struck down. Why is that? Because what we think we know, I 100% believe we don't know. I ain't talked to nobody, so this is 100% theory. I don't think they have the freaking witnesses that they say. Remember, the government knows how to use propaganda. What they'll do, and we just watched this happen with Diddy. What they'll do is they'll try to say, hey, this person right here, guilty. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And HIJK element of P is basically the witnesses. All the other stuff is the actual factuals, but the witnesses are what's supposed to bring the hammer down. The problem with this is they're flying. The witness that they had to get this indictment anyways was a damn cop. And we learned from Belknap, we learned from Gaither, we learned from Dennis that they don't know what the hell they talking about. That's what we learned as far as the YSL case go. Shit. So you have that. Then you have I can't think of his name. You have Boogie do his own thing. We'll cover that on the Reloaded channel, where basically he like, man, first off, the way in which y'all applied this doesn't even work. So I'm looking at this like I'm supposed to, and like we all should. Great deal of skepticism always. If Durk is guilty and he was stupid enough to do this, bruh, you did it to yourself. You can't blame nobody else. But the fact that they're saying coded language, it don't sound like what they think. I think the problem with it is they're trying to use his music and say, see, this one right here, this bar right here, man, go and get it done. He's telling everybody from OTF, go and get it done. I think it's really a trial of Lil Durk's lyrics. I don't believe they actually have anything that can directly tie Lil Durk all the way to the murder of, what the hell is his name? Lil Pab. It's not Lil Pab. They call him Pablo. So you don't call people Pablo, Pab. So I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. And I told y'all, bro, once we started getting all of this stuff as far as evidence, and then they turned around and they created another indictment and they dropped certain things, they said, oh no, nobody got paid. That's what the feds, you've never, like I say all the time, y'all never seen the feds ever react like this, ever do anything like this, where the feds go, oh shit, hold on, time out, bro. Hey, there was no money there? No? Oh, that song that we said we had, you mean that song was created two years before? Shit. Okay, let's just get rid of that and then go ahead. Remember, the judge was willing to give Lil Durk a damn bond. Remember, the Fed said, oh, Lil Durk, he'll go out here, he'll stalk witnesses. And then you heard all these rumors, all these bullshit ass theories that came from a federal informant who was lying and was like, oh yeah, this person got killed, this person got killed, this person got killed. It wouldn't surprise me if that same person showed up to trial. I don't have any information on this. It wouldn't surprise me if that same person came to trial and just basically lied on Lil Durk. It just wouldn't surprise me. Am I saying that individual is going to do that? I don't know. I have no idea. I wouldn't talk to that person a day in my life and definitely would not say their name on my platform. Hell no. Almost had me arrested in Chicago at the feds anyways. But neither here nor there. I just think that this is all about lyrics and all about Instagram posts. Remember, Durk ass used to get on IG Live and say some of the dumbest shit ever. Don't be caught up by that G. Like, all of that dumbass stuff, bro. But I'm going to tell y'all this, and I'm going to be fair. I just don't see this being the nail in the coffin that people pretended to believe it actually was. And part of the reason is the evidence and how the feds are operating is insane. I don't believe that they're going to have a ton of witnesses. I don't believe they actually had this as an open and shut case. I don't believe any of that. It is what it is, man. But hey, hit that like button like you like something. Win this or win this for free by making sure you comment on every video. We actually lost in this last couple of days. We actually lost like 40 people. So we up to like 360 individuals who are actively qualified to win this for free. So, hey, your ability to win is up. But here's the biggest thing. If they dismiss this on the part of Lil Durk, will he just get rid of these guys? Meaning he won't put up no money for them to have better lawyers or any of this shit? Or are we going to say, damn, bruh, Durk, you had nothing to do with this and you still should take care of them guys because they can rat on you or something like that? Because I don't believe that any of these cats are snitching on him that's involved in the overall conspiracy. But maybe I'm wrong. Click right here to hit the playlist just to roll every video. But if you want to catch the very last one we did and you want to know what the hell's popping up, click right here and you can find out how in the hell they just decided to spin a story on Young Jeezy and say he snitched on BMF. Please, if you don't know what a question mark means, please don't click on that damn video and read that title because it ends in a question mark. Lord, I'll catch you on the next one.